Tonight, someone is going to leave your message on read. Your chest is going to tighten. Your stomach is going to drop. You are going to feel it in your body, not just your mind. But here is the strange part, the part almost nobody tells you. The feeling you are about to have is not a metaphor. It is not just in your head. It is one of the oldest alarm systems your body owns, and it was never built for text messages. It was built for something much older, something that used to mean life or death. Let's go back, way back. Imagine a small group of early humans, maybe 20 or 30 of them, moving together across an open grassland. There are no walls around them, no locks on doors, no emergency numbers to call. There is only the group. If you were pushed out of that group, alone on the grassland, your odds of surviving the night dropped fast. No group meant no shared food, no shared warning system for predators, no one to help you when you got sick. Alone meant vulnerable. Alone meant very often dead. So evolution did something clever, something almost frightening when you think about it directly. It built an alarm system that used the same wiring as physical pain to detect social danger. Here's what that means in plain terms. Deep in your brain, there is a region that lights up when your body is physically hurt. Scientists using brain scanning technology found something that surprised even them. That same region also lights up when you are socially rejected. Getting excluded, getting ignored, being left out of the group. Your brain does not fully separate a bruise from a broken heart. Think about that for a second. A famous psychological experiment tested this directly. Researchers put people into brain scanners and had them play a simple digital ball tossing game with two other players. Except the other two players were not real. They were part of the experiment. At first, everyone tossed the ball back and forth normally. Then, without warning, the two other players stopped throwing the ball to the real participant. They kept playing with each other. The real participant just sat there, watching, waiting, left out of a simple game. It sounds small, it sounds almost silly, a ball game. But the brain scans told a different story. The exact same neural region that activates during physical pain lit up during that moment of exclusion. People reported real emotional distress. Some described it as surprisingly upsetting, even though they knew logically it was just a game. Why would a harmless computer game create something close to actual hurt? Because your brain was not built for computer games, it was built for grasslands. Now picture that same exclusion happening for real tens of thousands of years ago. A hunter accused of stealing. A person mocked and pushed to the edge of the group. Someone who broke a social rule and watched the others turn their backs. For that person, exclusion was not an inconvenience. It was a death sentence in slow motion. So your ancestors who felt intense, immediate distress at the first sign of social rejection were the ones who fixed the problem fast. They apologized. They reconciled. They fought to stay inside the group. The ones who did not feel that distress, who shrugged off exclusion easily, often drifted away from the group and disappeared from the historical record. Their calm indifference did not get passed down. Their genes ended with them. Which means the people who are alive today, including you, are descended from a long, unbroken line of humans who were wired to feel rejection as something close to physical pain. That wiring did not update when the world changed. It is still running the exact same program. That is why a single unanswered message can quietly ruin your afternoon. That is why watching three friends post a photo from an event you were not invited to can create a tight, sinking feeling in your chest that has nothing to do with logic. That is why being left out of a group chat feels disproportionately awful, even when you know, rationally, that nothing physically threatens you. Your brain does not know the difference between a modern group chat and an ancient hunting party. To your oldest neural circuits, exclusion is exclusion, danger is danger. Here is where it gets stranger. Researchers studying pain and rejection found something else remarkable. In several studies, people who were given common over-the-counter pain medication before facing social rejection reported less emotional distress afterward compared to people given a placebo. A pill designed to dull a headache also seemed to dull some of the sting of social pain. Read that again. The overlap between physical hurt and social hurt is not just a poetic idea. It appears to be biologically real, sharing overlapping neural pathways in a way scientists are still working to fully map out. Your ancestors did not need a scientific paper to know this. Every culture across history built elaborate systems specifically to prevent exclusion. Shared meals, rituals of belonging, formal ceremonies of forgiveness and reacceptance after conflict. Tribal systems built entirely around making sure no one ended up alone outside the group for long. These were not just social customs. They were survival technology built to soothe an alarm system as old as the species itself. Now think about how different your environment is today. You are no longer surrounded by 20 or 30 people you see face to face every single day. You are surrounded often by hundreds or thousands of people through a screen. People whose approval, attention, or silence you can track constantly, endlessly, in real time. Your ancient alarm system was calibrated for a small, visible group. It was never designed to process a like count. It was never designed to process seeing exactly who viewed your photo and did not respond. It was never designed for the quiet cruelty of a message marked "read" with no reply. But it fires anyway, every single time. Because as far as your oldest brain circuitry is concerned, exclusion is still exclusion, no matter where it happens. This explains why something as small as an unanswered text can trigger a wave of anxious, looping thoughts. Why did they not respond? Did I do something wrong? Are they upset with me? Am I being pushed out? Those thoughts are not weakness. They are not overreaction. They are an ancient survival circuit, still faithfully doing its job, just aimed at a world it was never built to understand. Here is the part that might change how you experience your next difficult moment. Knowing where the feeling comes from does not make it disappear, but it does something else. It takes away the shame of feeling it. The tight chest after being excluded, the racing thoughts after silence from someone you care about, the strange physical ache after a friendship quietly fades. That is not you being fragile. That is hundreds of thousands of years of ancestors who needed the group to survive, speaking through your nervous system in the only language it has ever known. So tonight, when someone leaves your message on read and your chest tightens just a little, remember what is actually happening underneath. It is not weakness, it is not drama, it is not something broken inside you. It is one of the oldest parts of being human, quietly protecting a version of you that no longer exists on an open grassland, but still lives, wired and waiting inside your chest.